You know, it all started on this scorching summer afternoon in Willow Creek, our quiet little suburb just outside Seattle. Picture perfect lawns, white picket fences, the whole 9 yards when I came home from work early and heard splashing and laughter coming from my backyard, like some kind of impromptu water park had erupted back there. I peeked over the fence, and there she was, Brenda Wilkins, cannonballing into my pool like she owned the place, surrounded by a gaggle of her friends in neon swimsuits, blasting music and popping champagne corks. My blood boiled instantly. I mean, who does that? And in that moment, I decided, nah, this ends now. I marched straight to the pool pump, flipped the switch to drain mode, and watched the water start swirling away, turning their party into pure chaos. But let me back up a bit, rewind about a day and a half, because this didn't come out of nowhere. It was brewing like a storm you could feel in the air. I just pulled into my driveway after a long shift at the engineering firm, dreaming of a cold beer and some downtime, when I spotted Brenda in my backyard, stringing up fairy lights and setting out folding chairs, like she was prepping for a wedding or something. "What the hell are you doing?" I called out, hopping the gate. Yeah, I was that fired up. She turned around with this smug grin, hands on her hips, and said, "Oh, Alex, honey, don't get your panties in a twist. I'm throwing a bridal shower for my niece, and according to the HOA bylaws, community spaces like this pool are fair game for events that boost neighborhood spirit." I stared at her, dumbfounded. Me pool? Community space? Brenda had been the HOA president for years, lording over everyone with her endless rules about grass height and holiday decorations. But this was next level. Turns out, she'd been nursing this grudge ever since I opted out of the HOA annexation vote a couple years back. I wanted my privacy, didn't need some committee telling me how to live. But to her, that made me the black sheep, the guy undermining her little empire of control. She waved some printed paper at me, claiming it gave her rights, and even hinted she'd blast it on her Facebook group if I made a fuss. Social media shaming, her favorite weapon. I tried reasoning at first. You know, keeping it civil. "Brenda, this is my property, not some public park. Get your stuff out before I call the cops." But she just laughed it off, saying, "Go ahead, try. The police will side with community harmony over your lone wolf attitude." Deep down, I felt this knot in my gut, like my sanctuary was being invaded, all because she couldn't stand someone not bowing to her power trips. So I did what any reasonable guy would call my buddy Mike, who's in code enforcement and a lawyer friend to boot. Turns out, it was a civil trespass thing, no immediate arrests, but they advised posting a notice. I slapped up a big sign on the fence. "Event canceled, private property, 24 hours to remove items or face charges." Brenda ignored it completely, posted selfies of her setup online with captions like, "Making memories in Willow Creek. Neighborhood fun." And the next day, bam, the party was in full swing. 30-something women in sundresses, a DJ booth blaring pop hits, my grass getting trampled, the hot tub overflowing with bubbles, and who knows what else. I watched from my kitchen window, fuming, feeling like my home wasn't mine anymore. This wasn't just about a party. It was her way of saying, "I run this block, and you don't get a say." That's when the real fireworks started. As the sun dipped low, and they were all splashing around, I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed my phone, hit record, and headed out back. The drain was already humming, water level dropping fast, and suddenly screams erupted. "Oh my God, the pool's emptying. Everyone out." Brenda surfaced like a drowned rat, mascara running, pointing at me accusingly. "Alex Thompson, you monster. You're ruining everything." I stood my ground, arms crossed, and shot back. "Ruining? This is my pool. Brenda, you're the one trespassing. And by the way, check your facts. Me lot's grandfathered out of the HOA. No jurisdiction here." I pulled out the old annexation docs I'd dug up, waving them like a flag of victory, and the guests started murmuring, grabbing towels and edging away, whispering things like, "Is this even legal?" And she said it was okay. Brenda's face turned beet red, sputtering, "You'll pay for this. HOA fines, lawsuits, the works. You endangered lives." But the party fizzled out quick, cars peeling away, leaving behind a mess of solo cups, wilted balloons, and my yard looking like a war zone. Inside, I felt a mix of triumph and exhaustion. This woman had pushed me to the edge, but draining that pool? It was my first taste of pushing back, and damn, it felt good. Of course, she didn't stop there. If anything, it lit a fire under her. The next morning, I documented everything, snapped photos of the torn-up grass, the stained deck, even used my drone for overhead shots of the chaos. Mike swung by, confirmed code violations on her end for unauthorized gathering, and I filed an insurance claim, linking it straight to her social media posts as proof of vandalism. Brenda went radio silent at first, probably plotting, then called an emergency HOA meeting, accusing me of assault on community values and endangering innocent guests. I showed up with a thick packet, photos, screenshots, legal docs, and laid it all out. This wasn't community anything. It was her personal vendetta because I wouldn't join her club. The board, a bunch of tired neighbors who'd put up with her bossiness for too long, flipped through it, and the chairman cleared his throat, saying, "Brenda, this is a private matter. HOA's out." She melted down right there, slamming her fist. "This isn't over, Alex. You'll regret crossing me." Her voice cracking with that mix of rage and desperation, like her throne was crumbling. Things escalated from petty to downright creepy after that. A threatening note appeared on my door. "Watch your back, karma's coming." I filed for a restraining order on the spot, but she upped the ante, sneaking over one night and tampering with my power box. Got it all on my new security cams. "Gotcha," I muttered to myself, installing a smart panel with my cousin Lisa's help. She's a tech whiz, and we rigged motion-activated sprinklers too, the kind that soak intruders like a bad comedy sketch. Sure enough, Brenda triggered them a week later, trespassing to Snoop, drenched and furious, yelling obscenities as she slipped away. That footage sealed the deal in court. The judge granted the order, rolling his eyes at her excuses. It was just a friendly visit. Yeah, right, her probation from a past shoplifting beef didn't help her case either. Then came the smear campaign, her Hail Mary. Flyers popped up around the neighborhood. "Beware Alex Thompson, saboteur and spy." Fake accounts online accused me of drone peeping, hacking her emails works. But it backfired spectacularly. Neighbors, fed up with her drama, rallied around me. We threw a backyard barbecue, folks sharing stories of her overreach, like how she'd find old Mrs. Jenkins for her garden gnomes. Brenda counterfiled bogus claims, but her own digital trail exposed her cyber-stalking, leading to whispers of criminal charges. Through it all, I stayed calm. Legal, persistent revenge wasn't about yelling. It was about outsmarting her game. The ultimate twist? I spotted an auction for Lot 47B, this overgrown patch next to her place that technically encroached on her yard. Built a fancy pergola over the line years ago, thinking no one cared. I bought it cheap, surveyed it proper, and stuck flags everywhere, then put up a tall privacy fence right on the boundary. Brenda flipped first complaints to the HOA, then showing up with cookies like some twisted peace offering. "Alex, let's talk." "This is silly." "But mediation?" "Nah, my lawyer shut that down cold." She vandalized the fence one night with spray paint, thief, but cams caught her again, leading to fines and me winning a civil suit for damages. Her pergola had to come down, or face liens. The climax hit at the dedication event for Lot 47B. I turned it into a community garden, hosted a big shindig with grills and games, even a plaque that read, "Dedicated to those who respect boundaries, may entitlement rest in peace." Neighbors showed up in droves. Our new HOA Pres Gary giving a speech about fair play. Brenda stormed in, face like thunder. "This is mockery. You're all against me." And the crowd chuckled, someone yelling back, "Pot, meet kettle." I handed her an invoice for the cleanup and a compliance notice, cool as ice. "Game over, Brenda. Time to play by the rules." She huffed off, defeated, and that was if neighborhood exhaled. In the end, she backed off completely, tore down the pergola, scrubbed her socials, kept to herself. Lot 47B bloomed into this sweet spot for meetups, veggies growing, kids playing. Gary runs the HOA now with actual fairness, and Willow Creek feels peaceful, like we'd reclaimed it from her grip. Looking back, it wasn't just about getting even. It was standing up to that bully mentality that poisons communities, you know? Revenge through smarts and patience, not fists. It changed me, made me appreciate the quiet wins. But hey, what do you think? Was I too harsh, or did she have it coming? Drop a comment below. Have you dealt with a neighborhood nightmare like this? Who's right in these power struggles, and how far is too far for justice? Share your stories. I read every one, and if this hit home, smash that like button, subscribe for more real-life tales, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for listening.